Hola, ¿qué tal? ¿Cómo están? Our first quiz is coming up, so I thought I would take a moment to review the quiz content as well as the quiz structure and format. So the beginning of the quiz, I'm just going to review some of the content that you might be seeing, and then towards the end of the video, I'm going to go into the structure of how everything's going to go down. To review some of the content, I'm just going to talk a little bit about myself. Hopefully at this point, you're going to be able to understand some of the stuff I'm talking about. It's good practice. Also, any of the compositions that we're going to talk about a little bit later could cover one of these themes, so it's a good idea to review some of this information. Ok, empezamos. Hola, mi nombre es Catherine, pero me llaman Kate Bové. Yo soy una estudiante también, soy una estudiante doctorado. Yo hago mi tesis en español. Ahora estoy en México. Son las 8:30 en los Estados Unidos, pero en México son las 7:30 porque hay una hora de diferencia. Aquí hace mucho calor, pero hace mucho calor todo el año. Nunca hace frío aquí en México, donde yo vivo. Yo vivo en el estado de Yucatán. Aquí en México me gusta mucho leer y nadar en la playa y también en los cenotes. No puedo hacer mucho ejercicio aquí en México porque hace mucho calor y no tenemos aire acondicionado. Pero cuando estoy en Athens me gusta correr con mi perro. Mi perro se llama Gus. Gus es muy cómico y también muy perezoso. Le gusta dormir en el sofá mucho. Mi casa en México es diferente. Vamos a hablar más de mi casa luego, pero es una casa simple. Tenemos un refrigerador, pero no tenemos microondas ni tenemos televisión. Si quiero ver algo en Netflix, veo Netflix en mi computadora. Pues tenemos que hacer mucho en la casa todavía. Limpiamos el baño, tenemos que arreglar la cocina mucho. No tenemos una lavadora aquí en la casa, entonces llevamos la ropa a una lavadora profesional, así que no lavamos la ropa en casa. En Valladolid tengo mucho calor siempre porque no tenemos aire acondicionado. Y después de un día muy caluroso, siempre tengo sed. Cuando hace mucho calor, no tengo mucha hambre. Es que no quiero comer mucha comida. En mi tiempo libre también me gusta comer. No cocino bien, así que comimos en los restaurantes. Tengo muchos restaurantes favoritos, pero creo que mi comida favorita es una hamburguesa y una cerveza. En México la cerveza es muy simple y me gusta. También tengo un esposo. Mi esposo vive aquí en México conmigo. Mi esposo se llama Alex. Él es muy serio. Yo no soy muy seria. Yo soy cómica. Mi esposo Alex sí es muy serio. Los dos somos inteligentes. Él también estudia mucho. Él tiene su doctorado en ingeniería biomédica, entonces estudia mucho. También él es alto, pero yo soy muy baja, así que es muy interesante. También nos gusta viajar. Cuando tenemos un fin de semana en que podemos viajar, viajamos a muchos lugares. Nos gusta ir a la playa y también a caminar en las montañas. Alright, so that was just a little bit of an example. A lot of these things could be the information that we see on everywhere in our quiz, and we're going to talk in more detail in just a second. So the quiz format, the way that this works is it's all the same structure. You're going to have one section of a listening section, a comprehension section, one section of a composition, 3 vocabulary sections, and 4 grammar sections. This is different because For example, there are anything that you see as a possibility. For example, there are 3 possible comprehension sections that you can get. One based on Chapter 1, one based on Chapter 2, and one based on Chapter 3. And it is randomly assigned once you open your test. I don't even know which section you are going to get. So your quiz is going to look different than a friend's quiz or a compañero's quiz. So that's kind of a neat way to keep things fresh. So again, there's one comprehension section where your Connect narrators are going to read to you a dialogue, and you are going to answer 5 true or false questions. The composition section, we have not had a lot of practice with the writing up to this point. Usually in the semester, we have more time in between, and I'm able to assign a couple of assignments, but as we are only 2 weeks in, I have not given you a lot of writing feedback. I'm giving you some feedback if you communicated with me in the videos, but that's about it. It may be a good idea to try writing a composition on your own without any notes to see how you would do on the quiz and send it to me. I'd be happy to give you some feedback on the composition. Big themes could be weather and seasons. It could be talking about your chores. It could be talking about what's in the university and what you study. It could be any of the themes that we've covered thus far. So you can take a look in the book if you have any questions about what it might be. I'd be happy to clarify. I'm not going to tell you what they are, but I'd be happy to kind of guide you in what to study. There are going to be 3 vocabulary sections, and these are all multiple choice, matching, labeling, and they could be anything. Again, they're going to be 3, and you shouldn't get any repeats. Like, you shouldn't get 2 sections on colors. But if that happens, please let me know. I'd be happy to fix that. But you might get a section on colors, a section on aparatos domésticos, and 1 section on en la universidad. And somebody else in class might get qué hora es, and quehaceres domésticos, y aparatos domésticos. I'm not sure. So it's good that you review all of this information. The ones that you see below are possible sections that could pop up on your quiz. It's the same deal with the grammar section. They're mostly short answers, so you're going to be writing it out. I'm going to review and go back and give you partial credit for some of these, so the grade that you see at the end when you submit your quiz might not be your final grade. I'll post those on ELC. But it's a good idea to practice writing them out with the accent marks, making sure the spelling is good. A really good way to practice with this for both the vocabulary and the grammar is the LearnSmart. It's a really similar format to the LearnSmart. So going back and reviewing that will be very helpful. All right, if you have any other questions about what this is going to look like, I'm happy to answer them. Just shoot me an email and I'll get back to you pretty quickly. I have lots of resources. One thing I can highly recommend for things like the verbs, like el verbo ser, el verbo estar, AR verbs, and the stem changing verbs that you saw, is there are grammar review sheets that you can find under the extra help tab that's right above the weekly assignments. I think they're called guided notes. So I've included those. It's a Word document, so you can go ahead and type in the conjugations, get some nice practice, save it, and send it to me. I'd be happy to go over that for you and kind of give you some pointers if you need it. I do not post an answer key to that because I want you guys to do the work. I've had a couple students request an answer key. I'm happy to go over whatever you send to me, but I'm not going to fill it out for you. I think I'm going to let you guys do that heavy lifting. If you need me to point you in any other directions, some helpful tutorial videos, anything like that, just let me know. I've got a lot of stuff to share with you. All right. Buena suerte con los estudios y que les vaya bien. Hasta pronto. Chao.